He will be sadly, truly missed.
This case hits a nerve. It happened Friday afternoon and was over in a split second. 43-year-old Calvin Munnerlin shot once in the head, just doing his job. A security guard inside this family dollar store. He told a mom and her daughter they couldn't be inside without wearing masks.
Several witnesses in the Family Dollar said Mr. Munnerlin had got into a verbal altercation.
The prosecutor says that woman is Charmel Teague, who left the store, called her husband to tell him what happened as she was driving home. She's now in custody. Her husband is identified as Larry Teague, and the son, 23-year-old Ramonia Bishop, who returned to the store a few minutes later. They're still on the run.
One of the black males started yelling at Munnerlin about disrespecting his wife. The other black male then walks up to Munnerlin and shoots Munnerlin.
At a vigil over the weekend, emotions raw.
And all he was trying to do was to protect the people that was in the store. It's just a horrible event.
Calvin Munnerlin was married and a father of 9. Friends say he was only trying to earn a living to support his family, to live through the pandemic.
This is senseless over a mask.
And take a look at this case in northern Oakland County. Police in Holly looking for this man who mocked being told he had to wear a mask by this clerk inside a Dollar Tree store. The police chief says because he wiped his face and nose on the clerk's sleeve, he will be charged with a serious felony assault, joking or not. He was last seen leaving in a white Ford van, similar to this one. Police and prosecutors say there could be more cases of mask outrage as people respond to being told what they have to do in the new normal, and outrageous behavior will not be tolerated against store clerks or anybody else.
All right, so social interaction rules have changed, and the question is, will the law adjust? Because the way this is all playing out is that you've got the governor issuing an order, and now you've got, private companies with their security guards who are enforcing the governor's order. Something doesn't sound right about all this, David Katz. It almost like we're putting too much of a burden on security guards to become law enforcement now with the mask patrols.
Well, I mean, look, first of all, whether the governor had an order in place or not, it's private property. And let's say the store owner decided it was prudent for people to wear masks. It's his property. He can do that as well. There are policies that the store could have in place that could be the result of the governor's order. Either way, if that's the policy of the store, that's the policy of the store. And, I have a security company. We interact with people all the time. But in this particular case, I understand there are sometimes negative interactions when people are asking you to do something that you don't want to do, like put the mask on. But this could have happened for any other reason. This could have happened because they bumped a cart or took someone's place online. I mean, the suggestion that because the governor put an order in place, someone didn't have a mask on and an altercation ensued that resulted in a loss of life. I mean, these two individuals, these shooters, are just. I would be willing to bet my last nickel that they have prior criminal records. This was not their first time doing something like this. So, I'm not so sure it's the result of the order or just the fact that we have in a lot of aspects, a lawless society.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you blame no one but the criminal for the criminal activity.
The shooter.
But Vince Champion, my concern here is that now on the front lines, we saw with the store clerk getting their shirt wiped because they're saying you got to put a mask on. I mean, the way this is playing out, you've got fuses are getting shorter, and the people who are on the front line now, store clerks, store security, not trained police officers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, it really comes down to what you just said. It's whether or not the everyday citizen wants to just follow the directions. The video they had there with a gentleman wiping his, nose and mouth on that lady's sleeve. I mean, that's just outright disrespect. I don't know if you can make any more laws. Murder's murder. That's what happened in the first part of this video. That's a law already. So there's nothing more else you can do. We do have some issues with the pandemic and people, they've been closed up so long and now they're coming out. But people just need to really get back to, just be regular citizens. And if somebody tells you it's their private property, they want something done a certain way, you just have to do it. But yeah, it is putting a lot of everyday people into harm's way that maybe would not have happened had it not been because of this pandemic.